Good afternoon. In fact, good evening. Hello, Mohammed. It was really great to see you here in the our first AHMP Dialogue, a webinar series. And thanks a lot, all the participants. I can see from beginning. Oh, we have already 10 people there. Hello, all. Welcome again to this, AHMP Dialogue, a webinar series. It's all about transforming healthcare marketing together. And thanks a lot, participants, for joining our inaugural session. And today we'll be talking about the cultivating trust in the healthcare, the role of ethical marketing. I'm sure it's like much needed subject in today's digital marketing era, right? So let me introduce you all, one and only the most kind of our founder member also, my friend also, Mohammad Ilyas. He's a founder BCC Healthcare. Mohammad Ilyas is an international branding and marketing strategist, successfully running BCC Healthcare, an integrated ethical healthcare branding and marketing agency based in India. He works closely with the hospitals, celebrity doctors, pharma companies, labs, medical equipment manufacturers. With the decades of experience in the healthcare industry, he has served, I think, Ilyas, if I'm not like 300 plus healthcare brands to achieve a better, presence and delivering enriched brand communications in the market. And he has trained more than 10,000 doctors on ethical digital marketing, and he has authored also. I love his book. He authored a book and Amazon based seller book with the title of Ethical Hospital Branding and Marketing under the category of hospital management. So now today we have this Mohammad Ilyas. Hello, Mohammad.
Hi.
Okay, so today, Mohammed will be talking about much needed kind of a topic like healthcare, and that to ethical healthcare marketing. So, what do you think? Like what is this all about? Like, if I'll talk about ethics, so obviously if I'll talk about ethics in general medical practitioners, this thing, then it says a lots of things. So if you can just enlighten everyone that what is this ethical marketing is all about.
Okay, sure. So thank you, Mr. Akhil Dave, and I'm very happy that there are a lot of people who initiate a lot of platforms, and I see the platforms, they initiated and then they die very soon because there is no continuous nurturing. But in your case, I really
I
appreciate the kind of momentum that you're able to build, and also the team that you have, the back end, and of course, yes, to you as a visionary leader. You've spent a lot of time nurturing this platform, and it is the platform is also growing, as you can see. Lot many people are getting inside this platform and making this platform much more richer. So all the best to you, and also me being a part of this team, and I also feel very happy and
Yes, sir.
privileged to be here.
Thank you.
So that I
Yes,
wanted
yes.
to thank you
Thank you,
first
sir.
for
Thank
that. So ethical marketing is something which is closer to my heart. And when it comes to healthcare, what we say is the only way and the only format through which you can really help your brand scale up much bigger, much more profoundly, not just increase your market share, but also increase the share in the hearts of the people that you are serving. So it's very, very important looking at ethical marketing not only as a way and the medium to achieve your certain marketing objectives, but also as a brand, as a legacy brand, or as a brand that people can love or relate to, how you can deeply touch them, and how do people really relate to your brand, and how do you really they miss you in your absence, is something that you can do through the innovative ways that are very much available within the ethical parameters. So that being said, there are a lot of people who ask me, Elias, you talk about ethics, you talk about ethical marketing, you talk about all this stuff, and marketing in healthcare. How does it really relate? What I tell them is, marketing in its own nature is pure. What do you use marketing for is important. You whether you use marketing to market needs, wants, desires, and of course these three things vary in various different proportion. What is a need to you, what is a want to you, what is a desire to you may not be the same to me. So it varies. So but what is the real nature of marketing? If you have to simply understand it with one classic example, which governments are doing anywhere in the world, they are actually spending a lot on healthcare advertising. A lot of people who get shocked and they ask me, what are you saying that they're spending on healthcare advertising? What do you mean? Yes, of course, they are the ones who spend a lot of money. If there is a campaign that has to be created, to avoid malaria or, to put an end to malaria, governments have to spend a lot of money on healthcare advertising to really put an end to it. And if during COVID is one such a classic example wherein governments have to come forward and also put a lot of efforts and money to really spread awareness about it. And those awarenesses have really helped people, a lot of lives, people who were saved even before they were affected. So such is a powerful role of marketing, I can say, and such is a noble cause that you can initiate through the help of marketing.
Yes.
You see a lot of
Absolutely
celebrities
right.
coming in, a lot of celebrities coming in, started sharing health awareness messages, and all that really reached people. And that really
Agree.
saved countless lives. You can never ever really, calculate or deeply get into the impact of how it really happened. But really, it saved a lot of lives. What do you think about this?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm totally agree with this. That this kind of a thing is really, really making a lot of change in the market. At the same time, I was just reading somewhere that let's obviously the ethical marketing, we all know that it's like a subject which we can if we start debating and we'll discuss about that, it will be like one day is not enough for that. But recently I was reading something regarding this healthcare SEO and healthcare SEO trend and everything, and that really opened my eye that the what is the majority statistics says that nowadays the patients, the those who are looking for the healthcare things, they are now started googling it on a search platform and on a digital platform. They used to go and they search for the particular disease related informations and all the stuff. And amazingly, that statistics said like almost like 77% of people use search engines to start their patient journey before going with the doctor, before going to the any healthcare practitioners. Like almost like 77%, and 7% of all daily Google search are health related. That's what Google data statistics says. And it's just like something very eye opening. At the same time, 70,000 healthcare searches are performed every minute. This is what data says. So I was just wondering that in digital space, where like we both are into the digital marketing, we know to upload any kind of informations on a digital space is like in our hand. The healthcare providers and kind of the digital marketing experts and people like us, we can do that kind of a thing. So Ilyas, what do you think? Like we know that we practice that kind of things that before uploading any kind of informations on various platforms, be it as a social media or a website or anything, we should definitely ask our healthcare practitioners, the doctors. We should get the approval, we should get the kind of recommendations from them. So what do you think? Because this data really surprised, like because earlier we used to say like word of mouth is something which is very much essential and required in a healthcare marketing. And only patient and patient's relative can build a brand. But unfortunately, still in current date also the word of mouth is the king. But at the same time, this digital era is also playing a crucial role. So Mohammed, what do you think, like how to control and how we can implement, and obviously those who are watching us or listening to us, how we can tell them to join our movement kind of a things towards the ethical marketing practices.
Yes, thank you, Akhil, for touching upon a very important subject which I wanted to connect little later, but you brought this up now. So,
Okay.
what I was trying to say about the healthcare advertising spent from the governments are very huge, but there is a noble cost to it, and that is helping save people's life. And what we are actually trying to talk about here is again the same initiative or a similar initiative. If it is taken from the private players, government is definitely not going to say no. In fact, the NMC draft guidelines say that a medical practitioner can go out and start spreading information about the specialty or the health related messages. There is a very strong
Mhm.
one of the guidelines which is given as per the draft. There is a point which is given there which is very very clear, and which also supports this. So what I'm saying is, what my request to all of you is, if supposing you're watching this video, if this initiative at a larger level can be done by the government, at local level, at regional level, at wherever you are, if you are going to make the communication work which is very much aligned to your specialty and start spreading awareness messages very specific to your specialty, very specific to your location, and very particularly in the regional language with which people can understand and relate to, then that is going to be the defining moment that can really set your brand to the right progress. Having said that, there are a lot of the things in the NMC guidelines with respect to social media. I think we need a separate session to cover a lot of those things. Still, it is the draft stage, and there are still a lot of things not so clear. And still, there are things which are in draft which people
I
say
think
will become
I think it
guideline
has
later.
been published. I think, sorry to interrupt, but it has been published last year, and there was some revisions is happening, if I'm not
Yes,
wrong.
yes. Yes, even
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
hear that. Maybe we need to check what is the latest update. It got published
Mhm.
last year, and published in the sense the draft was published. Still, we are expecting. I know mostly whatever is in draft. I think that can become a guideline little later. But there are
Right.
a lot of things which are out there. Even within the ethical or the framework which is provided, still we can leverage it. But my advice to all of you here, if you're looking at ethical marketing, there are two things which still through the guideline or to the draft that is provided, or through the parameters which are there which you can still leverage. And the one which you told was very important and very profound. People are looking out for healthcare information online. There are a lot of doctors who are against this, because people get half baked information online. Excuse me. People get half baked information from online. So what happens is, they try to come up with their own judgments about treatments and all that, and doctors are a little offended because I'm a professional, I know what is it, and you can't really arrive at things. So what we need to really know is, of course they are right. That is the same with any expert. Basically, you can't really go by some videos randomly and arrive at any conclusion, and that provides a bigger scope for you, because you, as a specialist in that particular space, in that particular region, who can speak that very same language which your target audience can relate to, you should have taken the initiative to come forward and create a video of the subject and bring it out to people. So that is the space. This reminds me of one very interesting brand that I really I happen to meet. They happen to be from
Mhm.
one tier 4 location. There are a lot of people who still ask me, does digital marketing work for me? I am in tier 2, tier 3 and all that. Tier 4 location, okay, a very
Right.
standard kind of a setup, no corporate chain, nothing, very humble setup basically. Maybe say 25 bedded or 30 bedded hospital basically, and they have a multi-speciality and a fertility as a core specialty that they focus on. The kind of
Okay.
YouTube views
Mhm.
that they have, is the subscribers I'm talking about, is much higher
Mhm.
than the YouTube views of a brand, a leading brand in Tamil Nadu, which has maybe say nearly 10 to 15 locations, branches basically. One small
Oh,
standalone
okay.
center has got so many number of subscribers, and then this all put together. Here they have an agency, they have marketing, they have everything. I'm not saying that agencies are not doing their job, but what I'm trying to say, even a single small setup without the help of an agency can also create such miracles. So I was very curious to find out basically, what is really the success format there. The doctor told me very simply, Elias, what I do is, whenever I get a patient, and I see there is a pattern of people come here and then they say, they use some medical terms which usually we used to say, and we avoid doing it so that people don't get confused. Now they are asking us, coming and asking us these medical terms. Whenever I get a patient like this, I create a video picking up that medical term. One video is created and then I upload. So every day when I keep getting patients, And if I have, say, a common problem getting repeated by 3, 4, then I see that is a subject worthy for creating a video. Simply following this format and creating only videos in regional languages, start creating videos in Tamil. And that one single language, very much relating to that one core specialty that they are specialized in, super increase, very big increase. What I'm only trying to say is, and again, this ethical marketing is not an expensive concept that people need to understand. They may think that, the marketers are
Mm.
talking about it and they're trying to create something out of it, or they're trying to make money through this. Nothing of that sort. Ethical marketing is the most cost effective way through which you can reach people in the most right sense. So that's what it is all about. And talking about the search, as I told you, one is you should start creating content instead of thinking about what is out there in Google. That's where you very rightly touched upon this point. It has to come from the authentic source. If you are a doctor, you are a qualified person to talk on that particular specialty or on that particular subject relating to health. So you should leverage on the opportunity when the market is really grown to that level, wherein the demand is already there, but the supply of this content is not as per the demand. So you need to really cater to the
True.
supply of this content, which can really help people save lives at a larger level or improve their lives to a very great extent. Having said that, one more important thing, when I was going through the guidelines and a lot of this stuff, I noticed this very important thing. There are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things, you should not do this, a lot of stuff. But one thing, you can't prevent, and one thing that if you are really good, you can do. What is that? Google reviews. See, SEO, there is no point that says, organically ranking, they are actually, recommending it. They are okay with it. So SEO is going to play the next big game. And there are a lot of people who are unaware of this. And I'll tell you the good news. If supposing you are a hospital in tier 2, tier 3, or tier 4 location, if you start doing SEO now, in the next 3 to 6 months, it's very easy for you to rank because the competition there is low. In city, it is very high. For any core specialty, it is very high. But for tier 3, tier 4 location, the competition is relatively less. You may have a stiff competition, maybe physically, but
Yeah.
digitally is a
Yeah.
different world altogether. So you definitely need to make
Ex-
sure organically ranking there with the right content really makes it. That's what Mr. Akil was also trying to point about the content being there, for people who are really searching for it. And what we see interestingly is that there are a lot of people who ask, who will come to my website and see? Tier 3, Tier 4 location, they're getting more appointments than online.
yes.
One interesting thing that I see is they have good setups, much higher infra setups compared to the cities. What you see in a city, the same level of infra is there because these doctors are very much qualified, very much talented. They're also very serious about making
Mm.
investments. They bring in a lot of imported machines. They even have robotic facilities in tier 3 location in one of the hospitals that I was working. Very huge setup. You can't even imagine
Mm.
such a setup being there in that particular place. And there are like these setups, umpteen examples we can give. So the infra in India is growing in multiple different directions, in multiple different spots, which is actually a very good thing. We are creating a very strong healthcare base. And having said
Yeah.
that, what I was trying to refer to was this aspect about the reviews thing. The second part is the review part of it, which is, when for this I want to give you one example. There is a doctor friend basically who's a dentist. I quote this example, but very interesting and a profound this thing. There is a lesson in this which actually we all can really relate to with respect to the ethical marketing concept is concerned.
Okay.
If you go and ask for a testimonial,
Mm-hmm.
there is always a no, no, no. Okay, and you go and ask for
Yes. Again.
no and all these things, and there are a lot of restrictions even from every angle. Okay, from the patient angle, privacy angle, a lot of things basically, and also about the draft that you have and everything. But if they go out and give it, is there a restriction? That is something that we need to know.
Yeah.
If they go out and give, that is what happens in Google
Right.
reviews. So far, I don't see. Maybe if there is a restriction, we don't know. But so far, I have read through, there is no such restriction as such on the Google reviews. Patients coming out voluntarily, giving out their suggestions about how it was, basically their experience, their entire experience, or giving some suggestions for improvement. It's an open platform. Yes or no, it can be good or bad earlier. It could be anything. So it's an open platform for feedback. That is an effective medium, and that brings me to this point of that story that I wanted to tell you about, which is a real example of this doctor. So what
Yes.
happened? Yeah, what happened was like he had a very humble setup in one of the places in Chennai, very quality conscious and very conscious about the entire patient experience. So he used to
Okay.
make sure that even though he has a smaller setup, he never compromises on anything. Patient delight was the most important concept for him. So even
Hmm.
he was my first. He's my only and the first dentist, basically, I can say. And
Okay.
I had a very wonderful experience, getting myself treated and all that. So he happened to treat his patients regularly like that. And one fine day, he had one of the ladies coming in, lady, and he did a smile designing, and then it so happened that that lady won the award, won the title Miss India Award, which I tell you.
Okay. Okay.
Miss India World. So immediately the press started asking her, who did your this, who did that, and a lot of stuff basically.
True. True.
She went
True.
and she registered her testimonial in an Instagram, thanking the doctor in her medium. So
Okay.
she is using her medium to thank someone. There is no restriction for it.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah.
And when she is using her medium to thank the doctor, who is actually knowing a lot about this? People in her circle.
Yes. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. And
the
only consented.
audience and the kind of audience he has built is very
True.
different. A new audience, which is not at all there in the
Entirely new.
doctor contact
Yeah,
sphere.
entirely new. Entirely new. And that too a patient consented kind of, testimonial, which is like a more kind of, ethical ways you can say that. Because person,
Here, yeah, here what we see is it's an experience sharing video which is happening voluntarily, thanking the doctor in her
true.
own social media. That really changed the game.
Absolutely. It's a like a win-win situation, and it's like a good way of marketing also, in way of ethical marketing also.
So
Yeah.
here the only aspect that you're trying to focus on is if your patient experience is really good. Today people want to talk about it. They just don't want to go untalked. So if supposing you give the right inputs in the entire patient experience journey, you can be very well assured of how this entire experience is being spoken by the person who is receiving these services in their own mediums. So that is very
Yes.
important because I can talk about whatever I want to talk about in my mediums. And if I really like the service and if I talk about it, hence that is something which is really the need for any healthcare brand, I can say.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. And this reminds me that I read somewhere, maybe in your book somewhere, or I don't know exactly, but there was some principles of healthcare ethics. Maybe NMC draft, or maybe your book could be the one where I can read that. But that says that that patient has rights to make their own decisions. At the same time, care should be benefited to the patients. So whatever so it's basically ethics of healthcare that do not harm, or what is fair to all patients and society. That kind of practices or justice we need to do. Protection of a personal information, which is very much required in a healthcare. That being a healthcare business is, you should protect that whatever the identity informations patient had shared with you during the line of treatment and everything. Truth telling, obviously, as rightly put a testimonial kind of a thing, that that person is sharing testimonial on her Instagram or her social media platform, thanking the healthcare provider or a doctor. Nothing wrong in it, because it's like a truth telling. The himself or herself is talking about the experience. And the follow job descriptions, basically, we had seen that in healthcare marketing, per se, we are if we are talking about few doctors who are not into that particular field, they are also talking about certain things which should be avoided, because they should follow their job descriptions and work within the credentials. Like every organization, healthcare businesses, the marketers, the healthcare marketers should follow that kind of a rules book kind of, that whatever their expertise into, they should follow that only. And true. So Mohammed, I think we were talking about this. awareness marketing.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
people are
Awareness.
like
Yes.
healthcare marketing, awareness marketing is something which is very essential, but still people had not used in a proper manner and still underused, you can say that. So if you can talk about that.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So awareness marketing is one very, very powerful weapon which is still underused. That is the one which I was referring to when I was talking about government spending so much money, and I talk about it in my book as well. So if you can actually
True.
leverage on creating awareness about it could be about the diseases, it could be about the causes, symptoms, treatments, basically a lot of things. You actually are trying to get a very good amount of attention or very good amount of visibility for you as a personal brand and also for your organizational brand. So here, when you do this, the entire objective should not be to fix up appointments through this. So that shouldn't be the way how it is. Education
Right.
should be done with utmost sincerity to help people. And sincerity cannot be faked. Sincerity is very obvious. And when you are very sincere about giving out some health education which can really help people, you can expect something which is very, very invaluable. That is love. People will
True.
love you for this. When people are
Like,
loving you, it is beyond trust. Trust comes
absolutely.
in and something above that, and that is love.
And that's what
So,
that. Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, you're saying something, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you cultivate the trust in the healthcare. So
Exactly. So
absolutely.
you start communicating about things, and if you're helping save people's life, and beyond a point when you're going out and sharing something which is very valuable to people, and if that helps people save lives, their own dear, near and dear ones, or themselves, basically, they stand for you. They will stand for you regardless of where they are. And I have seen lots and lots of doctors, sharing good videos, quality content, and they get loads and loads of messages thanking the doctor from all across. Because another very important thing to notice through the digital media, you don't or you not only focus on your immediate people in your region, that is going to be your primary focus, but also you try to touch and impact the lives of people all across. It could be India, anywhere in the world. And one very important thing is, usually when you are in any practice, you don't confine yourself to any specific region, because you never know what kind of opportunities unfold you anywhere in the world. And you
Absolutely.
will get any kind of opportunity. For that, you should definitely make all the channels open. And then in this awareness marketing, I have one more aspect to talk about. One is the patient education. Again, we need to have a separate session on awareness marketing separately to do that. Another very
Okay.
important point I want to touch about is, with the case study I want to say, this is about, doctor marketing through the awareness. Awareness marketing for doctor. What are we talking about? It's more about the age-old concept of CME that you do, but with a little bit of focus on creating more awareness about your core specialty and also helping them with some real skills. This is an example, or this is again another case study I can say of a doctor who was very highly trained, and he does zygomatic implants. And he told me, yes, there are only 2% of the dentists who are trained to do zygomatic implants. And what he does is he trains doctors on dental implants. There are a lot of doctors who
Okay.
are shying away from training. They think that you are creating more competition. That's not the case. I have seen successful models of people who do training, and actually speaking, without doing much exact marketing in the traditional sense, they get very good amount of patients that they really are looking forward to serve. What are we actually talking about here? So his model is very simple. He said, I train people on implants. So there is a training fee also. So there is a revenue orientation there as well. So he calls dentists and he gives them very good quality education, trains them on doing how to do implants. These people, they go out, they start practicing. And if they have need a support system, they always call back, they get themselves the right information, mentorship, whatever. And at the same time, see, for example, if there are, say, 500 dentists going out, maybe in a year, going out and start practicing, and everybody starts doing something. Maybe once in a month, if one dentist comes across a zygomatic implant case, or once in 2 months, or once in 3 months, one zygomatic implant case. Just imagine the
Hmm.
kind of number of cases that doctor will get as a referral.
Got it.
Because
Yes.
there are a lot of people who talk about referral marketing, and they think it is a cut system, dirty system, and that is where everything gets stuck. So we are talking about a very
True.
pure and a
True.
clean form of referral marketing, wherein you are referring somebody to your guru. So
Yes, yes,
you are posed with a challenge. You can't solve this challenge. And who is the next best person or a better person than me who shares the same value system is my guru. So I give this
absolutely.
reference to my guru. So that is
Yeah,
another,
absolutely.
yeah, another way which can be very beautifully explored and that can really be used. That will increase the skill level in the entire nation on various usable ways, and that can really place us to a very great height. And we are talking about international medical tourism. That is another subject needs to be covered in another video. So
Yes,
all this is really, really, really building up the pace. And the person at the top, what we really need to know is there are doctors in India that we have who are highly skilled, highly specialized on doing certain things which others generally can't do. But they are loaded with cases which are very, very mundane for them. The mundane or the other usual cases are good for somebody else who finds it really exciting to do. But this person or this doctor needs something really challenging. And such challenging feed has to be given through a proper system. Education is the root. So I think you've spoken
absolutely.
enough. You know
Yes,
what it
yes,
is.
yes. The only thing, I was just thinking of that, we were earlier talking about the cost-based marketing.
Yeah.
So I think the cost-based marketing is also one of the important aspects, and the last and most important, that the correctness of a communication in a social space that we
Yeah.
earlier talked about. But I think if you can just and put a little bit
Yeah, sure,
more
sure, sure.
light on that, those
Sure,
those two
sure,
topics.
sure, sure. Cost-based marketing is one very important way to really look at what is this cost-based marketing we're talking about. Again, we're talking about the age-old concept of you doing a medical camp. But how do you
Yes.
really redefine it? How do you really make it more meaningful? One simple thing that we see, doing a medical camp at your own premise yields a lot more visibility and attention to people. And it also increases the commitment level with the brand than you going and doing it somewhere else. It doesn't mean that you should not do it outside. There's another specific strategy that you can also implement doing it outside. But one simple strategy like this can help you do this. Another thing that we see is when you do a medical camp, a cost-based marketing, if you have to really call it, it should have a continuity. People do camp just for the sake of increasing some patient footfalls and they allow it to die. Instead of looking at it that way, you should take up a cause saying that, I am here to save these many lives through this particular thing. So, for
Yeah.
example, there was one brand in, Tanjavur, they wanted to take up a cause that, we are here to safeguard the heartbeat of people in Tanjavur. Tanjavur is a place, the tier 3 location in India and in Tamil Nadu. So, there they wanted to take it up this and they want to train 1,000 people on CPR. That is
Okay.
a mission that they have taken. So one side you will have a medical camp going on, another side you will have this CPR training going on. So when you do a cost-based marketing, there is an education component, there is a medical checkup component, and there is a continuity. Then you slowly hit the
Yes.
numbers and you display the numbers saying that you've done so many checkups, you've really helped so many people, and early detection really helps save life, and those stories can be really taken up. And the correctness of information, as you rightly said, with all searches, there is a very big demand, and the supply there is a lack, and that's where the correctness is important. This is where the healthcare practitioners need to put a little bit of efforts. Here again, the
Right.
biggest problem a lot of people see is, how do I sit and write content when I don't have time? Today, with the help of AI tools available, you really don't have to sit and write. You only have to just verify the correctness of information. All the information is there. It can be suited to your style. So writing is not at all a big challenge today. So you don't have to write. The system will write for you. Just have to validate the correctness of information.
Yes.
Number two, the best and the most effective way that we have seen, passing all this information when somebody is searching, as we all know, people, especially when it comes to healthcare, they want to search through YouTube more. Of course, they do read a lot of content on the general Google search. They want to go to YouTube and see it visually, how a surgery is performed, or what exactly, who is this person, who's the doctor, and when the medical video is played, what exactly is shown, and all that stuff. So 1 minute videos we see are really, really effective because people come with a question and search, and they want answer to that very specific question. You can't create a 30-minute video and ask people to find answer there. 1 minute, one question, one answer. Then you lead them into your world, and then you can talk in length. That's it from my side.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It was really, really, precise, concise, and to the point kind of a discussions. Let me go to the, there are two, three viewers had said that, some or other kind of informations like, This Amninder Dillon, he's saying that YouTube has initiated a certification verification for health influence. That's really great. Then yeah, the Himalayan Eye Institute regarding the paid promotion, which is the most cost effective and rewarding platform, Google or Facebook. I think it's not at present relevant to these content, because we are talking about the cultivating the trust in the healthcare and the role of ethical marketing. But yeah, I think if you wanted to say something, I think
I
this is
just
a
wanted
great.
to tell him that, if supposing you're looking at social media, use social media more in terms of spreading the good content. See, sometimes you create a very nice informative video which can help people save lives, or you're talking about an eye institute. If supposing you're talking about something which is going to be really helpful for people, which can help them in their eye issues. And if that content, if you just post it online, and if it is really not having a good reach, you can spread that awareness. That's what we're trying to talk about. And social media, through social media, you can spread the awareness of such video.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Oh wow, they're so quick. They're the marketing department is very good. They're so quick. So we are thankful to Moment for his input and advice. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So I think Mohammed, it was really great that once again it was entire AHMP India Foundation. Family is very much thankful to you that you had started the first session. This is kind of inaugural session of our AHMP dialogue, and personally myself, Akil, also like thank you. I'm saying thanks a lot to you that for sparing the time from your busy schedule, and we look forward that we'll have a series of good webinar on the subject relevant to the healthcare marketing, and those those kind of subjects which really helps the healthcare marketing professionals. So guys, stay in touch. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.